Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all. Myself Vaibhav. I welcome all of you to today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, where we will be considering a extended parameter indicator, and this is going to be a derivative of the prior indicator which we had seen in the last session only. The name is Parabolic SAR Extended. From last session where we had left, we have to add some more parameters, and after that we can better customize this concept of the parabolic SAR to arrive at a formation or to arrive at a formation which will bring us a higher probability of making money. So we can edit and customize this indicator in lot many more ways compared to the parabolic SAR, and that is the only difference. Otherwise, the underlying concept is more or less the same, and we will be also considering various aspects related to its uses. So let us now head to the JForex 4 platform, which is the newest trading platform introduced by the Dukascopy Bank SA. You will find this indicator listed amongst the overlap studies. So all you can do is, if you go to the overlap studies, you will see it below the parabolic SAR. So here it is. Else, you can simply do a quick search. So all you have to do is write in its name. Even if you write para, you will see that there are these indicators, and here it is SAR extend, that is parabolic SAR extended, stop and reverse. Alright, so this is the Euro USD chart with the default candle period of the hourly time frame, and we have these parabolic SAR extended plotted with the default setup. I haven't really tinkered with its default values, but we will of course see if and when we change the input parameters, there is drastic change in the way this plotting of the support and resistance is done by this indicator. And from the name itself, you can make the guess that stop and reverse is used to look for the trend as well as the support and resistance zone. So we can use it in multiple ways where we want to optimize our entry, and of course, at the end of the trade, we also want to optimize our profit. If it is in profit and if it is in loss, then we have to try to minimize the losses. So that's the reason why we are putting in more input parameters to make the customization more adaptable to the dynamic financial market. This is the Euro USD chart, and here we have this parabolic SAR extended indicator, and I will be now explaining to you these various input parameters depending on which we get this output, the line. And I had already explained to you the basic concept of the parabolic SAR, so that's why I'm not really going into the technical aspects of it. Rather than that, we will see its uses. We will be focusing this session for customization options. And if you want to dwell more on the concept of the parabolic SAR, I would suggest that you refer to the prior sessions video, which is also available in the playlist. So here for this session, we now consider the possible uses and possible customization options which we can tinker with to arrive at a formation which we can then utilize to make the informed choices whether to go long and or to whether take a short sell trade. So here we have the start sell value at 0, offset on reverse is also at 0. Then the acceleration initial long is of 0.02, the acceleration long is of 0.02, the acceleration max long is of 0.2, and the acceleration initial short is of 0.02, and acceleration short is 0.02, acceleration maximum short is 0.02. So using this value we arrive at this formation plotted, where we can see that we get the good idea of the trend reversal as and when we see the plotting of this parabolic SAR line changing direction or changing the side compared to the price action. We considered the trend change. Here you can notice that earlier we had the parabolic SAR extended plotted on the higher side. Then we had the swift move on the higher side. As a result of that, we saw this change happening where from the next hour onwards, we have the parabolic SAR extended values on the lower side. So the trend has now changed from bullish to bearish, and it is better if we start looking for the buy opportunities in this dynamic market where we are now being advised by these indicators output value to change the perspective from bearish to bullish. So this is the classical interpretation of the parabolic SAR extended output lines, this dotted line. So we can use it as a entry marker whenever trend change happens, but there is a catch here. Many times what happens if the range is rather narrow, then in those kind of circumstances we don't really see any big move on either side, but we can get multiple false entries as has happened here. So those kind of circumstances can mm, make your account balance pretty much low. You can face losses if you simply rely on these one interpretation of the indicator. So we have to also keep in mind the ways in which the indicator can fail us. So we have to consider its pros and its cons. So it is a good indicator if we are looking to ride out a trend. Whenever the trend is strong, we will get a good value for money in that trade. We will have these kind of scenarios also playing out sometimes. After trend reversal, it continues for a substantial amount of time, and if we simply wait for the trend change for exit, then I think we will be in a good amount of profit. But only thing is that when there is no trend and if the markets are simply sideways, then this indicator will generate many false signals. So we have to now go to the editing options and see what can be done using these editing options to limit the losses when there are possibilities of many false signals being generated. So let us see what can be done here. The start value is 0. I think we can make it 1 and see what kind of changes are observed. So here we have this minimum and maximum. So let's consider if I am making it to 200,000, no prominent change is visible in the plotting of this indicator. Again, restore it back to 0, not much is changing. If we say make it 2 million, let's see. Oh, not really, nothing much still. So you can make a case that this initial value is not going to exert much of an implication on the plotting of these indicators. So I am now going to restore it back to 0. Let us now consider the offset on reverse. Offset on reverse, let's try out the value of 50. Now as I changed it to 5, we are seeing that it is showing higher lag, and this plotting of the parabolic SAR extended is looking rather interesting. So this is not really helping our cause of determining the trend, and rather than looking for signals which can be useful for our trades, we have to reduce the value. Now I am using 10. So here the prior structure was close to the price action, but here the structure is after some initial moves, it is tending to catch up with the price action. So that is why these parabolic SAR extended lines are being plotted like this. Now if we bring it lower, then I think we will get still. This is looking like a rocket launch setup. Alright, now I am going to restore it back to 0. So we are back to where we started. Alright. So there is the parabolic SAR extended indicators plotting with the hourly time frame. Now let's consider what more can be done with other editing options. If we try out the acceleration initial long with a different value, higher value, we will try out both cases, the higher value as well as the lower value. So now it is moving a lot more closer to the price action. So it will give the signals of the trend change quite fast. There will be not much of a lag, but then the case is then the thing is that when the trend is not going to be there, when the moves are going to be sideways, in that kind of scenario we will have multiple false signals as the price action and the parabolic SAR extended indicators plotted values are quite close. So any kind of deviation from the average price will result in the trend change. Now I will restore it back to what it was, 0.02. And then we try out acceleration long. Okay, so acceleration long is looking a bit better, but of course here also the story is not really changing much. Let us see if I make it 1, what happens. There is more lag, and in the later half of the trend the price action is then catching up with this the parabolic SAR extended plotted dots are then catching up with the price action quite fast. If we go for negative value, no, we can't really go for negative. So I am now going to restore it back to 0.02. The maximum long, let's see if we go for 1 or 2, no change. It is more or less the same. Then we try out the similar kind of changes here. The short, I'm now changing it to 0.02. So whenever the trend is changing on the lower side on the short sell, we are seeing much more acceleration compared to what we are observing for the buy side. So in sell side cases, the acceleration is strong. So because of that, the parabolic SAR extended output is quite close to the price action. And since for the buy side it is lower, the acceleration lower, so it is taking much more time. So if you want the parabolic SAR extended output value to run close to the price action and at the same time give you valuable insight into the trend of the underlying instrument, then I think you can go for this formation where you can keep the acceleration higher. Acceleration short, let us try out this value as well. And maximum short, I'm going to change it to 2. So let us see what we are observing. So here now the price action is pretty much close to this short sell bearish momentum plot of the SAR extended indicator. And if we carry out similar kind of changes for the buy side, then we will observe the same kind of situation unfolding from the buy, from the bullish momentum indications on the parabolic SAR extended indicator. So this is how it is now looking. But as the price action and the SAR extended indicators plots are kind of quite close, kind of intertwined, we are likely to see much more false signals being generated. And the only benefit of this is going to be that you will get to catch the trend early, but then the trend has to sustain, and if it is not sustaining, then these indicators formation is not really going to work. So the message is clear: if you keep the acceleration higher, it will follow the price action quite closely, and if you keep the acceleration lower, then there will be a lag, but the signals will be much more consistent compared to what we can get if we keep the acceleration higher. So this parabolic SAR extended indicator is mainly about these editing options provided to change the SAR's acceleration formation. So if you try out this combination, you will get a good idea of what kind of acceleration is going to be optimum for defining the conditions, for defining the setup. So you will have to make many changes and make many observations, and then there you will get the idea of a good enough combination. So that's it from my side for today's session of Parabolic SAR extended indicator explained. And if you have any query or any idea to share, you can write back to me in the feedback section, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook, so you can reach out to us there too. For trying out this newly released JForex 4 platform, the link has also been included in the bio. Do give it a try, and you will see that it is quite improvement compared to the prior platform, and it is going to give you a seamless trading experience. So thank you all for joining in. I will be back tomorrow with a new indicator, with a new possible use of that indicator. So stay tuned. Do come back. See you tomorrow. Till then, have a fabulous time. Make a lot of money. Goodbye.